matters are fast-moving.
Unlike other big rallies,
Bit earlier at about 7 a.m., a group from the Coast Guard.
Welcome to #PHVote 2013.
Today on Rappler, China and Japan to clash on visions of a security framework in the Asia-Pacific. Ousted Laguna Governor ER Ejercito leaves the provincial capital a week after he was disqualified. And the Malaysia Airlines Workers' Union calls for the air carrier's top officials to resign.
Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. Ousted Laguna Governor ER Ejercito leaves the provincial capital Friday after a visit from his uncle, Manila Mayor Joseph Estrada. Estrada urges his nephew's supporters to wait for the Supreme Court's decision on Ejercito's appeal. Estrada tells his nephew if the decision turns against him, Ejercito can return as governor in 2 years. Ejercito remained in the capital more than a week after Comelec ordered him to step down because of campaign overspending. Comelec found he spent over 6 million pesos on TV ads alone, exceeding his 4.5 million peso limit for his campaign. Vice Governor Ramil Hernandez takes over Ejercito's position. The Education Department, or DEPED, announces Friday it will not implement the proposed 3-day school week for school year 2014 to 2015. DEPED Assistant Secretary Jesus Mateo says it still needs to assess the proposal, but Rappler obtained a copy of a memorandum showing the Caloocan Division's plan to implement the 3-day school week for the incoming school year in public and the elementary and secondary schools. In a statement Thursday, the Alliance of Concerned Teachers, or ACT, says the 3-day class week is a scheme to hide the shortage in public education. About 20 public schools in Metro Manila remain congested, with 86% set to implement double shifting. Only almost 14% will have single shift classes. Some classes will have triple shifting due to ongoing construction of classrooms. With the retirement of Associate Justice Roberto Abad on May 22, the Judicial and Bar Council, or JBC, interviews nominees to take his post. Among them are 2 high-ranking government officials, Solicitor General Francis Jardeleza and Commission on Audit, or COA Chair Grace Pulido Tan. This is Jardeleza's 3rd bid to join the Supreme Court. Jardeleza first applied in 2011. He was also a candidate to replace ousted Chief Justice Renato Corona in 2012. When asked if his current office could still work effectively in his absence, he says, quote, "There's never a dearth of good people in public service. I'm certain that the President will find a better person to replace me." He has a total of 38 years of law practice, spending 14 of those years as General Counsel for food and beverage giant San Miguel Corporation. Tan is said to be a strong contender for the post. She has a total of 32 years in law practice. Under her leadership, COA released a special audit report that helped the Justice Department file charges against lawmakers, agency officials, and fake NGO operators in the discretionary fund scandal. Prior to heading COA, Tan was Undersecretary at the Finance Department. At the Finance Department, she supervised agencies vulnerable to corruption, like the Bureau of Internal Revenue and the Bureau of Customs. The JBC is conducting the 2-day public interview session with the Supreme Court Justice nominees, aspirants, the ones trying to join the Supreme Court. The other nominees include Court of Appeals Associate Justices Nina Valenzuela, Apolinario Bruselas, Rosemary Carandang, Stephen Cruz, Ramon Paul Hernando, Jose Reyes, Noel Tijam, Court of Appeals Presiding Justice Andres Reyes, Sandigan Bayan Associate Justice Maria Cristina Cornejo, Quezon City Judge Reynaldo Daway, and former Audit Commissioner Rowena Guanzon. The Council will submit a short list of candidates to President Benigno Aquino, who will then appoint the new Associate Justice. The Malaysia Airlines Workers' Union calls for top officials to resign. Nearly 3 months later, it's still unclear what happened to flight MH370. The union asks the Malaysian government not to renew the contract of Chief Executive Ahmad Jahwari Yahya, believed to end in September. The union asked for 2 other senior managers to resign to help revive the state-controlled national carrier's fortunes. While the union earlier rallied behind Malaysia Airlines over the missing Beijing-bound jet on March 8, staff morale remains, quote, very low over the carrier's poor financial performance. The United States warns China Thursday against tensions in international airspace after Japan accuses Beijing of dangerous maneuvers above disputed seas. In a statement, the U.S. State Department says, "We do not accept China's declaration of an air defense identification zone over the East China Sea and urge China not to implement it." The U.S. urges China to be more cooperative and, quote, work with other countries to establish confidence-building measures. Japan cites several instances where Chinese fighter jets flew close to Japanese planes in overlapping airspaces. But Beijing hits back Thursday, saying two Japanese jets came recklessly close to Chinese aircraft in late 2013. Relations between China and Japan are strained by a territorial dispute over Tokyo-controlled islands in the East China Sea known as Jiaoyu in Chinese and Senkaku in Japanese. China and Japan are expected to present rival visions for the future of Asia-Pacific security in a security summit in Singapore this weekend. The Chinese delegation, headed by People's Liberation Army General Wang Guanzhong, says he will, quote, fully elaborate on China's security concept in Asia. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe also attends. He is expected to lay out the meeting a vision of Tokyo, which has a security alliance with the U.S. as a counterweight to Beijing's growing might. Japan has already won support from allies such as the Philippines and the U.S., while drawing criticism from China and South Korea. The three-day Asia Security Summit comes in the middle of heightened territorial tensions between China and its neighbors, including recent skirmishes with Vietnam and the Philippines. Internet security firm Eyesight Partners uncovers a cyber spying campaign against high-ranking officials around the world. The alleged culprit? Hackers from Iran. The Wall Street Journal reports the campaign initially targeted U.S. and Israeli officials, but data reveals other targets from the UK, Saudi Arabia, Syria, and Iraq. The campaign dates back to 2011 and is still ongoing. Investigators say hackers gather crucial data on economic sanctions, military secrets, and anti-nuclear efforts. The hackers used a fake U.S. news website called newsonair.org to develop connections through Facebook and LinkedIn, tricking targets into sharing personal data. Hackers from Iran are notorious for sabotaging the computer networks of the U.S. Navy, banks, and Middle Eastern energy firms. They've become one of the top security concerns for the U.S., more than hackers from Russia and China. Iranian officials deny any involvement in past hacking incidents. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 7, a new study reveals the world is on the brink of a 6th great extinction. The report, published in the Science Journal, says species are disappearing about 10 times faster than biologists believe. The scientists cite various factors behind this, foremost of which is habitat loss. Species are running out of places to live in because the landscape's being altered constantly by humans. Outside experts say this is a landmark study. At number 9, medical experts urge the World Health Organization, or WHO, to embrace e-cigarette as a lifesaver on World No Tobacco Day Friday. Experts say the tar-free electronic alternative could help prevent illnesses caused by toxins in traditional cigarettes. E-cigarettes are banned in some countries like Brazil and Singapore and restricted in others because their long-term health effects remain unclear. And at number 10, former Microsoft chief executive Steve Ballmer offers $1.8 billion for the Los Angeles Clippers, with Donald Sterling getting stripped of his ownership. Forbes magazine reports insiders say Ballmer's offer package, quote, is strong. Forbes values the basketball club at nearly $600 million US, but may go up to $1 billion. Sterling earlier made headlines with his racial slurs, which the NBA deemed intolerable. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com. It's the wrap. The AZKALS have a chance to take home the AFC Challenge Cup title. The Philippine national football team will face Palestine in the finals match of the international football competition. Palestine is 25 spots lower than the Philippines in the world rankings, but they've been strong in the Challenge Cup. The winner of the match earns a spot in 2015 Asian Cup in Australia. Follow the game on Rappler's live blog. Meanwhile, in Macau, Nonito Donaire Jr. will face WBA featherweight title holder Simpiwe Vitieka Saturday at the Venetian Resort. Donaire will be challenging the South African for his 4th world title. For our social media post of the day, the most liked Instagram photo since the photo sharing app started is the wedding photo of socialite Kim Kardashian and rapper Kanye West. At almost 1.95 million likes and counting, the photo captures the high-profile couple in the middle of a kiss during their wedding ceremony Saturday. Kardashian and West started dating in 2012. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page. That crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that have affected our readers and viewers the most emotionally. These 10 stories have gotten the most number of votes on their mood meter. If you take a look today, we have this story from the hearing at the Senate, Make Internet a Basic Service in the Philippines. You have 75% happy. Today's story, Ousted Laguna governor leaves the capital. You have 63% happy. And you see that green coming up. Here, again, 8%, 9% happy in the story that's gotten the most number of votes, from sleeping in slums to a scholarship in Germany. This is a 16-year-old who moved from the slums and got this scholarship. It's 77% inspired, bringing out the mood of the day. Today, most people are inspired. That is Rappler's Newscast for today, Friday, May 30th, 2014. It's nice to see a green, inspired mood navigator. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.